Hello fight fans, Grandmaster Gambardella here with the latest update on the UFC. Well, the posters are out for the UFC 111, and for the first time in a long time, the one and only big mouth Dana White has actually put together some fights people want to see. He's got George Slippery St. Pierre going against Mr. Hardy. And he's got the one and only big mouth Frank.Mir going against the electrician Mr. Carwin. Now, this is the first time in years that there's been two championship fights on the same card, and the first time that actually the people that watch the UFC are going to see some fights that they really are interested in. And you know, Dana White has already made it clear he doesn't care what you think, he doesn't care what you write, he doesn't care about anything except what he tells you to care about. Just pay the $55, shut up, he'll put on the fights who he wants, when he wants, and where he wants. Well, he's going to put on a good one, but it's not going to be till March, so until then we're going to endure a bunch of his no-name fighters fighting on cards we don't care about and paying $55 to watch it. However, it does set up some interesting possibilities with what happens in this fight for Brock Lesnar. If Brock gets well, he can return and fight the winner. Now, if the winner happens to be Mr. Carwin, then he's going to show everybody in the world what it means for a Division I wrestler to fight a D2 wrestler and to crush him in the ring. There simply won't be any chance for Mr. Carwin. However, we would much prefer to see Mr. Big Mouth Frank.Mir win and have a grudge match, the third and final match between Brock Lesnar and Frank.Mir, where Mr. Lesnar will break Mr. Mir's back and thus allow him to only mouth off while sitting down for the rest of his life. There is one third possibility that Brock does not get well, has to have major surgery, and we pray that doesn't happen. One final thought. If George Slippery Pierre actually wins this fight completely dry, then this could possibly set up a rematch with the one and only BJ Penn. And I think BJ will teach Mr. Pierre a very good lesson on what it means to be a real MMA fighter without any help from outside sources or substances. And if Mr. Pierre loses, he's going to be sentenced to live in a frozen wasteland where only 20 or 30 days of the year does it get above freezing. And yet, we'll all pretend we love it. Wait. He already has that sentence, and he does live in that great place, and he does pretend to love it. So I guess we do have some happiness coming our way anyway, because we don't live up there. I'm only saying that because I live in Texas, and it's 30 degrees today, and I frankly can't stand it. This is only our second day of 30 degrees, and that's called summer in Ontario. This is Grandmaster Gambardella. See you next time.